Oh, why did I take it this way? Come on, no, don't do that. Please? Oh, that's... I've just actually made this the worst. Okay, good. Just get to flat ground and stay there. I found the last skull. Finally. I really had to keep my eyes peeled for it. As soon as I get this guy over with the rest of them, I'll show you where it was. Problem is pushing these. They made it so hard to push these. Because it's so lopsided. Anyway, yeah. I'm assuming I just need to stick them all in this little pit here. So, here, where I'm standing right now, this is where the last skull was. That's why I never saw it, because you basically need to be looking right at this point in order to see, like, 2 pixels of orange. It's orangish red. Come on. Thank you! Thank you very much. Just some pals. Okay. Glad to have that one done. So, now there's only 2 left. I spent some more time looking at the slime hook puzzle. And it's still really weird. But I feel like I have an idea of what I'm trying to do. I feel like I'm trying to trick the game into using the whip and hitting the chest with it. Which normally you can't target. So I think I'm supposed to use the slime and just get it by the chest and then send the whip towards the slime that's by the chest, but also use the wand to hit it out of the way before the whip gets to it, so it hits the chest instead. I've tried a bunch of different variations of this, including just trying to kill the slime, which I don't know why I didn't think of doing that earlier. But I keep running into the same problem, which is that the timing is off. The bolt keeps killing the slime before the whip is all the way out, so I just instantly retarget to the next thing, which is the hook. Because I did some testing around in that area, and I realized that you can trick the game into hooking things that you normally wouldn't be able to. Like, for example, if you use the combination on a signpost, the wand will break the sign, and then the whip can actually grab one of the pieces of the sign and pull it to you. You can do this. I did the same thing with one of the sniper's bodies in the next room over. At some point I managed to pull a coin to me. So I feel like that's the idea. The problem is, I don't know how to coerce the game into doing that. The setup just seems like it really doesn't want to let that happen. But it does feel like something that could work. Like, if the whip did manage to hit the chest, either it would pull me to the chest or it would pull the chest to me. Either way, that's a victory. And like, there's nothing else in. Hello. There's nothing else in that little corridor, so I'm pretty sure that's what it has to be. And then, of course, there's the other puzzle, which I still don't have that many ideas on yet. I'm gonna try one thing, and I'm actually gonna sit in the water while I do this. I'm gonna try one thing that I thought of. If this doesn't work, then I guess I'm back to square one. Let me look at this manual. Is it uncovered yet? No. I don't know what causes that lighting. Oh, it's the lightning. That's funny. There we go. Okay. I just really want to make sure I got this right. Now, there's a bit of a problem. I don't know what the softest feather is. Corrected 11 times. Like, one of the ideas I had was that maybe the softest feather was referring to like a pillow and I had to sleep 11 times and then leave my house, but that didn't work. I already tried that. And it also wouldn't make sense because it's not in this area. Like, it has to be something I can do in this area. I thought maybe the softest feather might be something... It might be like saying that the shape this path makes is like a feather. And my idea was to input the Holy Cross of this path 11 times forwards and then 1 time backwards. But I've tried it both ways, being forward. Neither of them work. Maybe there's like directions hidden in the words through some kind of wordplay. Almost like this. But yeah, I feel like it has to be some kind of Holy Cross sequence because there's nothing else here to interact with. And it has to be something that I can do in this spot. I get it. I get it. It's a riddle. It's wordplay. What is the softest feather? It's down. Corrected is right. And then departed? Left. So, down, right, 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 left. Wait, what? Okay. And then once more. Oh, once more might mean 12. Okay. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Once more is in 12. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. That's it then. Okay, it wasn't nearly as complicated as I thought it was. I was being way too literal about it. Well, there's only one puzzle left. And it's the one I'm least excited about. Going back to the forest. Take yet another look at the slime hook puzzle. Yeah, hit this immediately. What I've been doing is I've been using the hourglass to try to practice. Now I can try to show you the weirdness happening with the sign. The problem is you can't lock onto the sign, so you just kind of have to aim. See, hitting that sign is not the easiest thing to do. The thing, slowing down time seems to make this input way easier. You see, I got it. And, like, normally, it'll just go, like, right over it. And there's some weirdness happening there. And the thing about the slime is that when it dies, it just... There's no dead body, it just blows up immediately. At this point, I feel like I have a lot of the pieces that I need. Like, I figured out the parry plus wand option. But the thing is, you can also press the wand and the whip at the same time in order to do it pretty well that way. The thing is, hitting this slime is not the easiest thing in the world. The wand has a tendency to just miss at times. I guess it's just because... You see, I had the whip ready, but it just instantly retargeted to the hook. Maybe this is it. I forgot. That's right. I forgot that if you're right next to the hook, it won't target it. Maybe that's part of it. If that's actually part of it, then I will say the page did an absolute rubbish job in preparing me for this nonsense. Even assuming, like, even after how long it took for me to understand that the first symbol was referring to a parry, which is... I don't know. Maybe that's more obvious for people who are more used to this sort of thing, but... Yeah, I just see a sword and a shield hitting, and I'm like, what does that mean? Because my goal is to hit the chest. There, if I'm standing right up against the wall, it should go through it. Yeah, see here, the problem is that the slime dies too fast. The whip doesn't have a chance to come out yet, so it just goes straight ahead instead. And I'm trying to... Yeah, so how does this time compare to just pressing wand and whip at the same time? About the same, honestly. It seemed like there might be a way by messing with the buttons enough to get the timing better. It's really weird, though. Where it's like the wand fires before the whip is finished. But that timing doesn't exactly help me because the whip is already extended. But theoretically, if I stand at the right spot, the timing will just work out. But I hate having to depend on that such a specific timing, especially when I have to go back and reset everything every time I fail, because the slime dies and I have to respawn it. Also, this absolutely isn't going to work. See? Because the wand is just gonna get caught on the wall. Oh, and I also wasn't too far from the hook. Yeah, see, when the slime is all the way in like that, there's a great chance that the wand just hits the wall and blows up. But sometimes it just goes through anyway. Like if you're standing next to the wall, so that you like shove the wand in it, then it works pretty reliably. I mean, it looks cool. It definitely looks cool, I'll tell you that much. Nice knockback. Yeah, like I basically need them to come out at the same time. And maybe with some combination of actions I can make that happen. I don't know if parry is the answer. Okay. It is a parry. I'm certain of it now. Because the sparks that come out are what happens when you do a successful parry. So, like, the thing I've been doing is the correct, like, sequence. I just don't know how it turns into a solution ever. Like, how does this ever lead to anything good? I can't do it. The timing, like there's no tell for the actual timing. You just have to know. And I only have 2 shots at it because I have to press both buttons at the same time. I pulled the heart. I'm like, at this point I'm very close to giving up on this puzzle. I wasn't thinking of giving up before when there were 3 puzzles left, but now that it's just 1, and I still don't know like how it's meant to work, I might just look this one up. the fact that this hasn't worked yet, I feel like I still have to be doing something wrong. But, like, there's nothing left to do. I did the thing. Like, what else could I be missing? I don't know if grabbing the chest is the answer anymore. Because I feel like it ought to be possible to just bait this guy in just the right spot and then just get the chest. Well, then what else could it be? There's nothing in there. We already know there's nothing in there because we've seen the slime walk in there and get stuck immediately. Like, for all I know, I just need to perform some secret code that just magically spawns a hook up there when I do it right. It doesn't seem like that's what the answer is. But, like, do I know that for certain? No. What I do know for certain is that, like, everything I know about the game's rules tells me that this is asking me to do something that's, like, impossible. Yeah. Okay. I give up. I am, like, completely out of ideas. And, like, I feel like I've done what the game's asking me to do, and it doesn't work. So, either the game's asking me to do something else, and did a bad job of telling me it, or I just did it wrong every time somehow. Which also sucks. So, yeah, be right back. Okay, I need to look at something real quick. Okay, oh, alright, I see it now. I was wrong about this. This is the magic dagger. I see it now, but, like... Man. Okay. How was I supposed to... It doesn't have the full hilt, that's how. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah, now I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. So... That's interesting. I never knew you could do that. So apparently if you use the magic dagger and the wand at the same time, it just shoots a freezing bolt. I wish I had known that. That would have been really helpful in a bunch of other places. Hold on a second. The only reason why I wasn't using the dagger was because its range sucked. Is there anything that told me about that? I got so attached to it. Like it looked like the parry. What's with all the? Honestly, I wish it didn't have the sparkles on it. The sparkles threw me off so hard. But like I never would have guessed dagger because like the whole time like I knew what the dagger did. It just puts a bunch of ice in front of you, right? I never even considered that there's just a random special interaction where you use both at the same time. So like I don't feel bad for looking that one up. I was never gonna figure that out. So you freeze it and then you can't pull it to you. Oh, right. Hang on a second. And that's it. Yeah, it makes sense because you can't pull frozen enemies to you. I knew I had to be on the wrong track because it just wasn't working. But I never would have guessed that was the dagger. I don't know, like, I don't know how they could have drawn it better. I just wish the symbol had, like, anything on it to denote ice. Unless that's what those stars are supposed to be, which it really doesn't look like it. Okay, let me unequip this. And now... that's it, I guess. That's frustrating. Because, like, the whole time the game was just asking me to do something that I had no clue how to do. I wish the manual had said something about it, because, like, at the very least I could have translated it. Alright, let's check out the place. There we are. Of course, the last one I get is the crown. That's just all too fitting, isn't it? I hate giving up. I hate giving up on a puzzle. But, like, even from the beginning, I just had no clue what this symbol was. I just... The daggers seemed so useless in, like, every aspect of it. There's just a special secret mechanic with it. That's I don't like that. I don't like that because nothing else hinted that I could do it. If any other, like, spot in the manual or any other spot in the game had hinted that I could, you know, just combine spells like that, or combine spells at all, for that matter, then I would have been willing to experiment with that more. Like, that would have been a possibility in my head, but it wasn't, so... it was just completely outside of my possibility space. Like that's the sort of thing that frustrates me because it doesn't feel like I could have known. Even when the game tried to tell me, the notes can only like, I don't. How many things in this game are there that like are blade shaped? See, like it looked like a sword hitting a shield with the hit effect and everything. I feel cheated. I don't fully blame the game, because it did try to tell me, I just didn't know how to interpret it. But just the idea of combining spells feels like something that should have been at least hinted at somewhere else. Anyway, yes, that is all I'm gonna do. The 12-figure dudes, see, I looked that up as well, just because I wasn't planning on really doing anything with that anyway, and it's related to, like, you know, a puzzles for the community, as like an ARG sort of thing, which I kind of figured as much, and yeah, I have no interest in pursuing that sort of thing. I like solving puzzles and all, but ARGs are where I draw the line, because at that point, you basically need a community in order to solve it. Like, the possibility of solving it on your own is basically zero at that point. I don't know if... Yeah, I don't know if the game necessarily expected me to be able to solve every single puzzle on my own anyway. And, like, at the very least, I'm proud that I was able to do everything that I did. And, like, if I had realized this was a dagger, the solution would have been so obvious and so easy. So, like, it's just a issue of translation at that point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching the series. It kind of sucks that it has to end on such, like, a bittersweet note, but I guess that's just the nature when you save, like, the most infuriating / hardest puzzles for last. That's just how it goes. All things considered, I feel like I did pretty well for myself. I was able to dissect the language without too much trouble. Just some time and some patience. The Golden Path didn't put up much resistance either. And honestly, like, the only reason why I feel bittersweet about it is because I was trying to get every last thing. And I kind of feel like you're not necessarily intended to do that by yourself. I mean, you can. But I just figuring out everything that I was able to figure out by myself. I imagine that not many people were able to do that. So I can't really complain about how well I did. As cryptic as some of its stuff may be, I respect the game for fully committing to it. Any frustration I had is just me wishing that certain things could click differently. I'm gonna say, like, I don't blame the game. because it was just me interpreting it wrong. And I definitely see now how I could have interpreted it correctly if I had, like, recognized certain details. But, you know, the little details like that are the things that get me. Little details in edge cases like that. I picked up on the rules very easily. Like, but that's my forte. Because once I understand, like, the logic behind the systems of it, I can just go from there. But the slime hook puzzle was a total curveball because it involved an interaction that was not present anywhere else in the game. It's cool that it exists. I just wish there was more of it so I could actually establish some logic with it. So I could have, like, some kind of clue. Yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to say. Now, by this point in the session, I was just completely spent, and I wanted nothing more than to just be done with the game. But there is one more thing I'd like to do. And I'd also like to take the opportunity to set up a better conclusion to the series. So stay tuned for that. Until then, thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.